Despite the scale of the mountain, it feels like quite an intimate character study as well in some ways.
It's drama. Yeah. I mean, it's you know, it's not a thriller or an action film. It's a drama. You know, set on Mount Everest, and you know, as you said, we've done our best to put you there. For the 99.9% of the people that are me included, that are not going to get up to the top, this is a pretty good look at it, and a pretty good experience of it. But at the heart of it, you know, it's you know, a man that doesn't make it home and a man that does.
And what helped you get to know Rob Hall? I believe you read his journals.
Yeah, I read his journals. Guy Cotter gave me one of his original journals, which was beautiful. You know, this is before. You know, this was Krakauer wrote his book even about exploitation and commercialization. What happened in '96 when this was just beginning to where it is now is, you know, I mean, it's a world away. But Rob was seeing it coming even before, you know, in '95, and seeing how, you know, Nepal needed to protect it. Nepal needed to, you know, to run it. How they could organise base camps so it wouldn't ruin it. I got to meet him through climbing, through going out with Guy in the Tasman Glacier in New Zealand, through Ben Nevis in a storm, and through meeting Jan Arnold, his wife, and Hillary, you know, and you know, and people in his life, and just kind of getting to know these quiet but confident and generous New Zealanders.
And what are your own memories of hearing about the story at the time? Was it something you'd heard on the news?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I was doing a tech rehearsal for a play in Sydney, and it came on the radio that this man had said goodbye to his wife from the top of Everest, and she was pregnant in New Zealand. And they just hung up the phone. And, you know, I just remember walking outside, looking at the sky and thinking, he's out there, he's over there, you know, he's up at the top of the world, having said goodbye to his wife. And it was just haunting. It was like, and then you think, you know, how did this happen? And then you find out who he is and how he is one of the greatest climbers, and how he, you know, is methodical and careful, and you think, how did this happen? And that kind of started my interest in reading the books, and Krakauer read a great book, read a great book, you know, sort of Beck, and all the articles.
And you went to Nepal, of course, to shoot some of the film.
Yes, we shot in Nepal. Yeah. We shot in Kathmandu.
What was the experience like of just seeing Everest for the
first
first time?
I mean, it's funny. The first time you see it is literally when you fly in. I mean, you're there and you're like, damn, dude, that is Everest. There's, you know, there's Lhotse. That's the peak. That's the, you know, and it's a black summit because it is the only one in the, you know, in the jet stream. So there's no snow on it. It's just blowing off in the jet. And the next time you see it is when you hike up, and we did the hike in the film, and you come around that corner. That was exactly where the shrine is, and there it is. It was a crystal clear winter day. It was blue, and you just look at this mountain and you go, I fancy that. I do. I fancy that. I think you know, turn to David Brashears. You think you can get me up there, Dave? You think we could,
And imagine sometimes the challenges of shooting on location, like this time would have been the cold and the altitude.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying when you're shooting, but here, I guess, did it help you get
No,
into
they were
mindset?
amazing, dude. I mean, we were helicopters in the Himalayas, Namche Bazaar, Pembrokeshire. It was the monastery. You know, all this is extraordinary to see. We had Fuller and Pemba, who played Ungdorji and Lopsang, and they were, you know, I think they got 8 summits between them. You know, they guide people to the top, and, you know, it was great to be able just to talk with them, and they'd help you with your technique, or share to keep warm, or, you know, share their tea with you. It was, you know, it was an experience of a lifetime. It truly was.
And what did you particularly admire about Balthazar Kormakor's approach to this material?
Just that he wanted to do it. First of all, that he wanted to do it the right way. That he wanted to shoot it where it happened, that he was going to respect the story, that he wasn't going to turn it into a story that it wasn't. We followed it, you know, we didn't go down the rabbit hole of, you know, what happened, what time, who did what, how, you know, a detective way. You know, he stripped the story back and turned it into a very human drama, but he made us go there. The first thing he said to us, we're going to shoot this, you know, in the Himalayas, in the cold and the snow, and if you don't want to do it, well, then let me know, because that's the deal. And, you know, he got a great cast together and led from the front, Bolt. I mean, he led from the front. He's out there plowing through the snow, you know, working it out, you know, and he was the proper man for the job.
It felt like a real ensemble, just looking
at
it.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, we all had to pitch in together. We all had to work together. We all had to, you know, have a sense of humour together, because, you know, at 4:30 in the morning, climbing up, you know, at 14,000 feet, you know, you got to laugh. You got to have a joke.
Jason Clarke, thanks very much.
Thank you, man. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!